So, shall we hear from a couple of Republicans about what they think about this election? Here is Representative, you know he's one of my favorites, Dan Crenshaw.
This is Dan Crenshaw with the Texas GOP, of course. So, Dan, the blue wave, at the very least, has been stopped in its tracks. Does it surprise you? Does it surprise you that everybody else was not predicting this?
This is necessary.
It doesn't surprise me that this infamous blue wave never seems to materialize, because here's the things: Texans like their state.
Jesus fucking Christ! In the 2018 midterm, Democrats set a record for an off-year election. More people voted for Joe Biden than have ever voted for someone for president. But hey, this blue wave never materialized. Now he's right, because Joe Biden was incredibly bad for down-ballot candidates. But before we go any further, remember, I cannot stand Dan Crenshaw, and I would give anything to piss in his eye hole. Fuck you, Dan Crenshaw.
We like being the #1 business climate in America. We like our low taxes. We like less regulations. We like good governance. We like more freedom.
No, we didn't want to vote for him.
Safe communities. We like funding our police. See, all of these things are the complete.
I did not vote for Joe Biden. I voted for the party where AOC, Ilhan Omar, Katie Porter, Rashida Tlaib, Jamal Bowman, Cori Bush. I voted to empower those people. It didn't materialize in the way Dems thought it would, because they thought they could just ride Joe Biden's coattails. Joe Biden didn't stand for anything other than being not Trump. And that doesn't help down-ballot candidates. It also doesn't help that Joe Biden made a concerted effort to say, hey, Republicans aren't bad. Here's John Kasich. I'm going to have Republicans in my cabinet. Instead of painting all the down-ballot Republicans with the stank of Trump and talk about how they were enabling Trump. Joe Biden fucked it up for the down-ballot candidates. And you will never convince me otherwise, but we're going to get into that here in just a little bit.
The opposite of what the left wants. The left wants to destroy our energy sector, raise our taxes, and make our...
No. The left wants to convert to clean energy and stop giving so much money to fucking oil companies, which I'm sure you're bought and paid for, Dan Crenshaw.
California's. I don't see why this would be a compelling message to win. And as we know, they
and you're damn right. I don't like plain mashed potatoes.
Almost aside from me,
I want some garlic parm potatoes. I want something with some substance.
Outspent by Democrats, and yet that blue wave was stopped right in its tracks.
Sure, and at the very last presidential debate, in about the last...
What the fuck was Kilmeade? Did you see the look on his face?
At the very last...
What is this look he's giving? I wonder if he's looking at Dan Crenshaw's eye patch and saying, I'd like to piss in his open eye hole.
Presidential debate.
That's all I can think about.
3 minutes, Joe Biden revealed he was interested in transitioning away from fossil...
Lost some people in the stream after I did the pissing in Dan Crenshaw's eye thing. Sorry if I offended you, snowflakes.
Fuels and traditional oil sources, and 10 million Americans make their living with that.
Because Democrats deserve to be yelled at.
Are you... what's your assessment of...
That's why I quit smoking pot on the stream, so that I would be more animated. So yell at people.
Filing suit in another number of states because they say that the voting the voting was okay, but the vote tabulation, they're a little worried about whether or not it's accurate.
Yeah. This is why the integrity of our elections and the system that we use is so important.
Seriously, what the fuck is up with Kilmeade?
I was very outspoken on this in the months leading up to this, as everybody was arguing about changing election laws at the last minute to accommodate for the virus. And this is dangerous. As Bill Barr said, this is playing with fire, right? The integrity of an election system has to be self-evident. It cannot rely on the opinions of election officials or politicians saying, "No, don't worry, it's fine. You don't have to have a conspiracy."
No, I'm goddamn tired of these motherfuckers claiming fraud.
These irregularities.
Without any evidence.
Self-evident that it is secure, right? Which means the process has to be simple, the rules have to be strict, there has to be strict deadlines, they have to be transparent. These should not be controversial topics, right? And so to experiment with this low integrity voting process that many states have in one of the most divided times.
People have been voting by mail since before the Civil War. There's one state that votes entirely by mail. This isn't an experiment. Dan Crenshaw is a complete and total moron. I'm so tired of these people. And the sad part is they're not going to go away. Not only that, they fucking feel emboldened now. Especially people like John fucking Kasich. Thank you, Joe Biden.
Now is the time for Democrats, and I believe Joe Biden will do this, to begin to listen.
I don't give a shit what your ass has to say. And they tried to bring you into the fold so that you would deliver Ohio for the Democrats. Guess what? That didn't happen.
To what the other half the country has had to say. But we have to listen to what those folks, those Republicans, all across this country has had to say. The best thing that's happened to Joe Biden is the fact that the United States Senate is either going to be Republican or very close. And the far left can push him as hard as they want. And frankly, the Democrats have to make it clear to the far left that they almost cost him this election. And that congresswoman from Virginia warned the Democrats. You want to
Spanberger.
funding the police?
We talked about her on Friday.
And I think this is an opportunity for Biden to talk about the center right and the center left of this.
And that's another thing. The people were out in the streets talking about defunding the police. And the Democrats snarled their nose at them. And then wondered why their down ballot candidates lost. All over this country, progressive values won out in this election where they were on the ballot. Unfortunately, we have feckless Democrats that won't push for the issues that people enjoy. Won't push for the things that are popular in this country. Medicaid expansion won. Expanding the minimum wage won. Marijuana legalization won. Hard drug decriminalization won. Progressive prosecutors won. And it's a shame. It is a shame that there are things that have to be passed by ballot initiatives because the people that we elect to represent us say, no, we can't have Medicare for all in a pandemic. Joe Biden says he will veto Medicare for all even if it passes. That is why Democrats lose. Medicare for all is a winning position. We know this. We've got the data on it. But you know what? It's the Democrats that are taking money from the healthcare industry that don't want to do Medicare for all. But it's the Democrats that are completely funded by the people, the Justice Democrats that take no corporate PAC money, that are on the side of the people, and that will actually push for policies that the majority of America is for. That's who I voted for. And I've come to the conclusion that I'm probably going to vote Democratic the rest of my life. Because one of the reasons why the Republicans are so powerful is because they vote. They turn out even if they don't like the candidate, they vote. It empowers their caucus. So going forward, I don't see any other way. I wish there was a way that a third party could break through. But the only way that we are going to get the structural change that we demand as the people is to take over the only party that we can. So I hope all the liberals are going back to brunch and going back to their mimosas. Because that's a nice party you have. Be a shame if someone took it over. And I've now come to the conclusion that I was wrong in 2016. I should have voted for Hillary Clinton. Because having Hillary Clinton as my enemy in the White House would have been a hell of a lot more fruitful than having Donald Trump as my enemy in the White House. Because all I've been able to do on my show since I've been doing this is play videos of stupid-ass right-wingers and laugh at them. I don't actually get to talk about policy or substance. I would have got to talk about policy and substance had Hillary Clinton been in the White House. I'm sorry that I was wrong on that. Not because I would ever vote for Hillary Clinton. I should have voted for the Democratic caucus and to empower it. Thank God for the AOCs, the Ariana Presleys, the Jamal Bowmans. Cori Bush, Katie Porter, Sherrod Brown. There are some good Democrats out there. I don't know of any good Republicans. They're all fucking shit. Especially John fucking Kasich.
Country and what can be achieved, because we have enormous problems with debt, Social Security, Medicare, health care.
Oh, now the debt's an issue. Oh. Do not let this motherfucker into the Biden administration. We do not need austerity again. The people are hurting right now, but the people that the Democrats are going to listen to are people like John fucking Kasich, who wants to cut Medicare, wants to cut Medicaid, Social Security. Fuck you, John Kasich.
Little steps, little steps. One other thing, one Democrat told me at some point, if they'd have been more clear in rejecting the hard left, they would have appealed more to Americans who I believe essentially live.
Appeal to the people who looked at Donald Trump like, yeah, I'll vote for that. 5 million more people voted for him this time than voted for him in 2016. The Democrats ran the most far-right candidate that they could. And he was barely able to eke it out over one of the most disliked motherfuckers in the history of the planet. One of the most corrupt motherfuckers in the history. If you can barely beat a child rapist, you probably shouldn't be telling anybody else how to run a campaign.
In the middle. So I think actually he's in a better position.
And Kasich couldn't beat the child rapist in the 2016 primary.
They will not get those things done.
I am tired of these neoliberal assholes. And here's another one. Mitt fucking Romney. Is this the video? Mitt Romney on Meet the Press.
What would you like to see President Trump do this week? You've been here. You've lost an election. You've lost a close election. In fact, in some ways, I feel like there's some similarities, and it was very tight.
We do need some updates, man. First of all, getting rid of the Electoral College.
How would you like to see President Trump handle
statehood for our territories?
Well, the way I would handle the week and the way President Trump...
Would you like to see...
But that is never, ever going to happen if the Biden administration listens to fucks like Mitt Romney and John Kasich. You know it.
How would you like to see President Trump handle the week going forward?
Well, the way I would handle the week and the way President Trump would handle the week will be different. Because
ain't that the truth?
We're not going to change President Trump or his nature in the waning days of the presidency. And so
First of all, what's up with Romney? He looks like he's been up all night partying. His hair's a little wild and shit. Like he took a whore bath before he came on to meet the press. Were you partying it up with Biden? I bet they're friends. I bet they are. He looks like he didn't get much rest either on Saturday night.
I don't think I'm going to be giving him advice as to what to do. Clearly, people in the past, like myself, who've lost elections, have gone out in a way that said, look, I know the eyes of the world are on us, the eyes of our own people are on the institutions that we have, the eyes of history are on us. And in a setting like this, we want to preserve something which is far more important than ourselves or even our party.
Our country?
Preserve the cause of freedom and democracy here and around the world. But the president's going to do what he has traditionally done, what he's doing now. I don't think that's going to be a surprise for anybody. And by the way, he has every right to call for recounts, because we're talking about a margin of 10,000 votes here or less in some cases. And so a recount could change the outcome. He wants to look at irregularities, pursue that in the court. But if, as
he's going to waste taxpayer dollars throwing a fucking big baby hissy fit.
Is there a point where pursuing that strategy undermines the democracy?
Well, I'm more concerned about the language that's used. I think it's fine to pursue every legal avenue that one has, but I think one has to be careful in the choice of words. I think when you say that the election was corrupt or stolen or rigged, that's unfortunately rhetoric that gets picked up by authoritarians around the world. And I think it also discourages confidence in our democratic process here at home.
Gets picked up by dumbasses on Parler.
And freedom. Why I think it's very important that we not use language which can encourage a course in history which would be very, very unfortunate.